Hi, I'm Neil Edmondson. I'm Head of Role for DWP Digital Project Managers. I don't think I've done anything like it particularly. I do that when I'm thinking. Stop doing that, won't I? Start again. Sit on my hands. What does a digital project manager do in DWP? If you can think of a project that's IT related, you are probably thinking of most of the projects that we do. It could be anything from rolling out some new Wi-Fi in a job centre to helping build all of the technology that needs to go in a whole new DWP building, to running some of our most critical payment systems that we have in DWP, to some of the biggest projects that are going across government organisations across the whole of Europe at the moment. A digital project manager doesn't really do any of the delivery. They're getting the experts, they're pulling the team together, they're making sure that all of the experts are helping raise the problems, raise the issues, help orchestrate that and make sure that we're staying in the right direction, going down the right road. As I've said, we're not the experts. We are expert in people, I would argue. I often run a development program where I get the people to tell me all of the skills that they think a project manager should have. And they always put down about being good at project management, being risks, planning and all of those things. And actually I like to point out that 80% of what a project manager does every day is dealing with people, dealing with the stakeholders that are from the different departments, dealing with the people in their team, dealing with engineers, dealing with analysts, dealing with architects, and just basically pulling everybody together to making sure that we're all going in the right direction, to make sure that we're raising the issues and telling everybody how well we are doing or even how well we're not doing and what help we need. And that's why I call them the orchestrator, the conductor. How does the work of digital project managers make a difference to the citizens who rely on DWP services? First and foremost, I think we will all know somebody who uses some of our services at some point in our life, probably multiple times in our life, and it will be our family members, even ourselves, that are using these services. There's a phrase of cradle to grave that gets used where we're taking our citizens through that journey. There's a good JFK analogy that I like, where when he was going through NASA and he bumped into a janitor and he asked the janitor, "What is it you do?" And he said, "I help put a man on the moon." You could say that about the project manager we have here. The man who's just plugging that cable in to fix the Wi-Fi. What is he doing? He's helping putting money into the pockets of the people who most need it, helping put the food in the children who are in poverty. And I think that's the biggest thing that we can take, is that we pay out billions of pounds in benefits and support to the most vulnerable in society. And what the project managers are doing are enabling those things to happen and making sure that it does, and we continue to do so. What are the biggest challenges digital project managers might face, and how can they overcome them? DWP is one of the biggest organisations, if not the biggest government organisation in the country. And it's that scale and complexity that can bring some of those difficulties. But with those problems come opportunities as well, because we can collaborate, we can share, we can learn from each other. And it's not just within DWP Digital. We've got 4,000 employees here in the digital space. We've got another few thousand people in the change space who are looking at the people side of change, the policy side of change. But we've got multiple other government departments where we've got project managers and delivery managers and agile delivery managers and every flavour of manager that you could think of, where we can learn and collaborate. And that, for me, flips it on its head from being a problem to an opportunity, because we get the chance to work on those biggest things. Governance is there for a good reason, and people don't like it. It's a critical part of what project managers do, regardless of the organisation you work in. You are always going to have things that we have to do. But in an organisation of this scale, you are going to need it. It was the same when I worked for a previous bank. The big financial institutions, their size and scale means that they've got to be careful on how they control those things. But it brings opportunities just for being able to collaborate with all those extra people. How does DWP stay at the forefront of digital innovation while serving such a large user base? The pace of change in technology these days is extreme, and being able to stay at the forefront for an organisation of our scale is really hard. In 2016, DWP created an innovation lab that is now actually grown into a team of people making sure that we're looking at how all new technology and innovations can help us. One of the things that they managed to create and help us with was delivering a new system that scanned in papers and letters from citizens who were looking for help and looking for support. And what it does is looks for certain language in order to understand whether we have got citizens that are in need of urgent support from the organisation, and they've sped up the process to analyse that and make sure it's reaching a real person's eyes a lot quicker than it was doing, making sure we're not leaving people out there needing support. We're recently trialling out AI to help us create new content for helping people learn, for creating new learning courses that will make sure that quality of that learning is much more appropriate for the people that are using it. But at the heart of all the innovation is the people. The people have a key interest in learning and developing ourselves. And as an organisation, we support those people in that learning and development journey. So whenever we can, we give people those opportunities to look at the new technologies, to learn and develop themselves, and how we can make our organisation stay at that forefront, stay learning and keep up with the pace of technology. What advice would you give to someone considering a career in digital project management? Digital project management is often overthought by people, thinking it's complicated and really hard to understand. One of my favourite talks that I do for helping people that are interested in getting a project management career is comparing it to planning for a scout camp. I'm a scout leader and I've done it for a long time. That's why I'm losing the hair and the grey hairs. The process of planning something like a holiday, a wedding, and how you would break that down into multiple steps, what you want to do each day, how you would prepare for it, is very similar to all of the skills that you would want is in project management. If you are thinking of applying for a project management role, we do have it at multiple levels. We've got people who are experienced, been out there and delivered some of the biggest and largest projects and programs. And we're always looking for people like that can bring their experiences and bring their knowledge and their different style to come in and challenge people who have been doing it the same way for a few years. Diversity is really key when we're getting different people to deliver different projects and programs. But we also have people who are looking to start their career. Our introductory level roles are looking for people who are good at managing people, good at leading people, good at bringing along a team with them. We're not looking for people who are being project managers. We're looking for those people who can plan that holiday, can plan that scout camp, and we'll teach you how to be a project manager at the end of it. What skills do you think make someone successful in digital project management? Organisation is key. If you're not organised, the team is not going to be organised, and the project isn't going to be organised. Things change. No project will finish the same way it started, and you need to be resilient to that change. And no matter how big that program is, there will always be something different that challenges you, and that's part of the enjoyment of the role. I loved being a project manager for years now, because it is different every day. Every project is different. It might be the same on the covers, but underneath it is very, very different. But for me, the biggest skills somebody requires to be a project manager is those softer skills, that ability to listen to people, listen to their problems, listen to what they need, and really, really understand actually what they're trying to say under the covers. We deal with lots of different people, lots of different parts of the organisation. We deal with technical people, we deal with people who are really good problem solvers. We deal with really senior management who will bring you a problem and need you to solve it. And if you can be a good listener, if you've got that emotional intelligence to listen to what they're actually saying and not listen to the words, then that will take you a long way. I've often said, and I've said it in interviews when I've been applying for jobs, I might not be the most brilliant project manager in the world, but what I can do is bring a team on that journey with me and make sure we're getting the team together, working as a team and delivering as a team.